Join me as I dive into the chilling unsolved murder mystery from 1881 in Ashland, Kentucky, and see if I can uncover any clues that have been hidden for over a century. In the small town of Ashland, Kentucky, a tragedy occurred in 1881 that would send shockwaves through the community for generations to come. A brutal murder took place, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions and a legacy of intrigue that still haunts the town to this day. On a fateful evening in July 1881, a well-respected citizen of Ashland, 35-year-old John Hughes, was found brutally murdered in his home. The victim's lifeless body was discovered by his wife, who had been out visiting family at the time of the incident. An autopsy revealed that Hughes had been struck multiple times on the head with a heavy object, leading authorities to conclude that the murder was premeditated and perpetrated by someone who knew the victim intimately. As news of the murder spread, the town of Ashland was thrown into chaos. Residents were left reeling, struggling to comprehend the senseless violence that had occurred in their once peaceful community. Authorities launched an investigation, scouring the crime scene for clues and questioning potential witnesses. But it soon became apparent that the killer had left little behind to aid in their capture. The victim's family and friends were left to piece together the events leading up to the murder, but their efforts only led to more questions. Had Hughes been involved in a bitter feud with someone? Had he stumbled upon a dark secret that ultimately led to his demise? The lack of concrete evidence and leads only added to the sense of frustration and helplessness that permeated the town. The investigation into John Hughes's murder was extensive, with multiple suspects emerging in the weeks and months that followed. One individual, a disgruntled former employee of Hughes, seemed particularly suspicious, as did a group of outsiders who had been seen lurking around the victim's property on the night of the murder. However, despite the numerous leads, no concrete evidence was found to link any of these individuals to the crime. As the years went by, the case remained cold, and the people of Ashland were left to ponder the circumstances surrounding the murder. One theory that gained traction was that the killer was someone who had been seeking revenge against Hughes, possibly due to a past dispute or perceived injustice. However, this hypothesis was never proven, leaving the community to continue speculating about the true identity of the killer. In the decades that followed, a few significant breakthroughs were made in the case, but they ultimately led nowhere. A mysterious letter was received by the local police department, claiming to reveal the identity of the killer, but it was later deemed a hoax. A former suspect even came forward, confessing to the crime. But their statement was later recanted, leaving the authorities back at square one. At one point, it seemed as though the case was on the verge of being solved when a former detective came forward, claiming to have uncovered new evidence that pointed to a surprising suspect. However, the promised revelations never materialized, and the detective's findings were ultimately discredited. The unsolved murder of John Hughes continues to haunt the town of Ashland to this day, a constant reminder of the darkness that lurks in every community. The case remains a source of fascination for historians and locals alike, with many still hoping that the truth will one day be revealed. The mystery of John Hughes's murder is a stark reminder that, even in the smallest of towns, evil can lurk in the shadows, waiting to strike. As we close this chapter on this chilling unsolved case, I invite you to share your thoughts in the comments below. Do you have any theories about what might have happened to John Hughes that fateful night? Be sure to check out another video on unsolved mysteries, and let's delve into the darker side of human nature together.